Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so thank you all the devotees for joining today. I'm just sharing the screen and 21st minute. Rama Rama Hare Hare Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hare Hare. Is that tambura coming from that little box? Your phone. Okay. Phones do amazing things sometimes. Nice way to begin, yes? I don't know how many of you were meditating on what's on the screen as we were singing. I was, and it's a nice meditation. There's simple patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati, offering Krishna what's Krishna's, fruit, flower, leaf, water. With love, Krishna will accept. So what to speak of offering his name? Because that's everything. Krishna is everything. You can offer his name. So it's a nice meditation. And then by the way in which this was orchestrated, the heart moves, at least potentially, when one is hearing carefully, the heart starts to move. You see in the illustration on the screen, there's a doorway. So here's something that's going to appear in the doorway. Down below, there's this person raising their arms, reaching for Krishna. And then there's Krishna, who reciprocates with those who are seeking. Here's this same image in a larger form. I noticed during the kirtan, some devotees just naturally were doing exactly that. And I was thinking, because I knew it was on the screen next, I mentioned it yesterday, this nice devotee from Seattle that during the 64 round day, from time to time, she would just raise her arms like this. So it's a gesture that means something. It means something to the person. It means something to the person who one is reaching out to. If that's not just mechanical, but is done from the heart, then Krishna sees, or anyone would see. Just a little sharing on this. I remember very clearly, I don't remember many things clearly, but one thing I remember very clearly is sitting in a transit lounge in China. You know, one of the things that for me, traveling in China is because I don't speak the language, it's body gesture, it's just not words, because I don't know what people are saying, which is okay. So there was a scene where there was a child crying. And started whimpering, and then it was crying, and then it was screaming. And the waiting lounge was filled with ladies, and the ladies went over to the child and tried to comfort the child. And the child kept screaming and louder and louder and louder. And finally, I don't know where the mother had gone, but when the mother came back, the child's arms went like this. The child was in the mother's arms, and the screaming stopped, just like that. It was a nice lesson. Many people want to take shelter of something because it's intrinsic. And where we take shelter may be comforting or not comforting. And then there's one shelter only, that's comforting, and that's the source of everything. And we try to take shelter of other things, and it's not the same solace. It's not the same contentment of heart. It's not the same loving affection. No, the other mothers that wanted to pick up the child, they would certainly had motherly affection, but it just didn't connect with the child who wanted their mother. So that when it didn't go to zero, but it wasn't the connection that was wanted. Similarly, the many scriptural references indicating in this age of Kali, this is nasteva, nasteva, nasteva. This is it. Here's a nice recording. Chanting every name with love is the title of the recording. And I hope it's going to work, because sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't.
You are engaged in Krishna's book. Preeti with love, not as happy. Here is a sweet chanting of Hari. I like Hari. Not like with preeti, with love. Chant every name, Hare Krishna. And here is Krishna, here is Radha. That kind of chant. Quality. Not like preeti. Tekam sadadajittanam bhajatam preeti. That preeti is required. That is the essential quality. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yomi bhaktya prajachati. Real thing is bhakti. Krishna is not hungry that he is giving some good food and eating. Never mind in which way he can give.
Any questions? So here's the topic, chanting from the heart, or the opening slide, offering to Krishna anything, everything, which is from him, what to speak of his name, and doing that from the heart. So it's a nice phrase, chanting from the heart. What does it mean? It's a nice topic. One way to discuss what it is what it isn't. I learned this from a nice devotee who's a really expert teacher. Good definitions are both inclusive and exclusive. To define something well, you need to indicate what it isn't as well as what it is. So there's from the platform of the mind, and sometimes we're from the platform of the mind, and other times we act from the platform of the heart. Mostly from the mind, because we identify strongly, and less from the heart. Some persons are from the heart persons, but often mixed heart and mind. In our relationship with Krishna, we might cultivate the choice of choosing to act from the heart and serve from the heart. And when that's done, then that's intelligence. We heard yesterday what enthusiasm is. With intelligence, directing our activities with enthusiasm, guided by intelligence. So where does intelligence come from? Where does it the same place everything comes from? Mataksmita jnanam, apohanam cha. So Krishna can help us in our journey devotional life journey, depending upon the purpose to choose to serve from the heart, or choose that Krishna is to be pleased. Acting from the heart it's not a one. It's to do that. We've all had the experience. I'll assume we've all had the experience of being more attentive and being less attentive, being more focused, being more distracted, and vacillating. So, chanting from the heart or focused in our relationship with Krishna, offering ourselves to Krishna, it's a journey, meaning sometimes and sometimes not. Or sometimes stronger, sometimes weaker. Unsteady bhakti is common territory. Therefore, the devotional effort or the devotional experience, the devotional process is again and again. The principle is simple, that the application is where it gets a little tricky. This is a nice verse amongst many nice verses. Let's say the verse together. Anya bilashata shanyam jnana karma janavratam anukulyena krishnano shilam bhaktir uttama. The highest bhakti is defined as continuous service or emotions directed toward Krishna. His expansion forms are others related to him with a pleasing attitude towards Krishna. It should be devoid of desires other than the desire to please the Lord, and unobstructed by impersonal gyan, the materialistic rituals of karma, and other unfavorable acts. Of course, there's different translations, but the essence is here. The underlying part is a pleasing attitude towards Krishna. That's the Krishna Anushilana. Krishna Anushilana. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilana. Choosing. So that's the from the heart, that we make choices, and from the heart comes the rest and the rest and the rest and downstream. And then the behaviors or whatever focus or distraction. Being in a relationship in such a manner that Krishna is to be pleased. We'll see some other graphics that indicate all this. To chant or serve from the heart, we need to align our consciousness with the heart of bhakti. It's a nice phrase. What does that mean? Align ourselves with the heart of bhakti. So here's the series of hearts. It's a nice graphic. What's the heart of bhakti? There's 9 processes of bhakti. That's the what. Then Krishna is the object of bhakti, and then there's the mood, the intent that Krishna is to be pleased. So there's the Krishna is to be pleased at the center, that's at the heart of the heart. The object is Krishna. There's 9 processes. So that's the heart of the heart. That's at the heart of carefully chanting. That's what Krishna is to be pleased. Now, the notion we're all familiar with. It's not a new idea. Oh, surprise, to pull the rabbit out of a hat. It's not a surprise like that. But it's a cultivation, or it's a continuous process. And that's the key. Continuing. So we'll have opportunities, just like this very nice kirtan before we began speaking. It's a meditation opportunity, an invitation from Krishna to connect with him. And all of us are here at the Festival of Holy Name, an annual event for so many years, to strengthen or make that connection better, stronger, more consistent, etc., in the association of others who are similarly striving. And it's doing all of that in the association of others who are similarly striving and more accomplished than us, equal, some less accomplished, some are newer, whatever. The combined effort is very powerful experience. The carefully chanting experience. Another nice graphic. Once we reawaken our inherent intention to please Krishna, meaning inherent intention. I won't go into it, but I'll just touch on it. Some time ago, there was someone putting forward the idea that bhakti is inherited, it's not inherent. As if it's either or. It was a bit of an uproar without going into it. So don't ask me about it because I don't want to go into it. It's not one versus the other. Nitya siddha Krishna prema sadhya kabunoi. Shravanadi shuddha chitte karyayodoi. We know the verse. We all know the verse. And Krishna prema, not just Krishna bhakti, it's already there. It's already there. Dormant or asleep or not yet awakened, but it's already there. And then there's the association with those that have awakened bhakti that can help us become awakened. So it's inherited in that sense because it's the Sangha, but it's already there. Otherwise, they're putting something there that wasn't there. It's already there. And that's in the association of devotees or sadhu sangha or hearing and chanting together or sharing experiences of bhakti with one another. That one of the sessions we're going to have, according to the schedule at least, is different devotees sharing what their journey with the holy name has been. You know, it's different principles are quite similar. The details are going to be quite different, but it's each journey, and it's enlivening to see how someone evolves in their journey. But the essence is this striving that Krishna should be pleased. I'm pausing, thinking, some persons don't get it. In other words, somehow, they're still at the center. It's not about, it's notional that Krishna is to be pleased. I'm at this, my experience is it. I want something. It's not wanting something is a problem because we're living entities. But what is it that we want? And who's the experiencer of it? Like this whole topic that we discussed yesterday, that Krishna, I am yours, and I have no other shelter but you. I mean, it's a nice sound vibration. And what does it feel like? And how do we move in that direction? I'm an experiencer of this relationship, but the focus of the relationship is upon Krishna. And in congregational chanting, we're all doing the same thing. And, to the extent that Krishna is the center, our experience is going to be different, individually and collectively. And that's it from the platform of the heart. The primary action necessary is to become closer to Krishna. To come closer to Krishna is chanting his holy name. A few more slides, not too many.
And then Prabhu, you can continue the hosting.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Sorry, my laptop battery is gone. But anyway, we paused the lecture there. Yeah. So
Chandan Prabhu can continue to do the host. Maybe he joined a little
I
late, but
see.
he can.
Okay. Yes, Chandan Prabhu. Please go ahead, Prabhu. I will pause the lecture. Yeah.
I'm extremely sorry, Prabhu. I was supposed to host, but somehow I could not join on time.
Oh, no problem. Please continue, Prabhu. No problem. Continue.
So now, do I not need to ask the questions from Prabhuji's and Mataji's, right, Prabhu?
Yes, no, please go ahead. Please go ahead. Whomever you want to pick and choose, you can do that, Prabhu.
So any Prabhuji and Mataji, please share your reflections or any questions. Please ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavat pranam. Sadhaka, Mataji.
Yes. So, Prabhu, this is for yesterday's question. I would like to say. So, there was a question asked by Shankun Prabhu. If somebody is the question was like, if somebody is praised, so does it inspires or it creates envious? So, from my experience, when a right person is praised, it actually creates an inspiration for me. It makes me think, the hard work the person has put, and it creates a motivation for me also to do the same. But if a wrong person is praised, to my experience, it has so many times happened that when we do something good and somebody else is being praised, then I think that creates a thought, like, why is it now, maybe why I'm not being praised for a certain thing. So when I relate all these things, a few years when I was not into spiritual background, so I think that used to affect me, like, why that praise is not given, or instead why somebody else is being praised. So that used to create a feeling of, overthinking feeling and getting affected by all these things. But after certain years, the way I'm now into spiritual background, so I think that it calms me down, though I get that feeling, but it still calms me down. So I think I can answer my question like, chanting helps me here. So the more I chant, I think for any circumstances that comes, even it is a fear or anything, though I get affected, but at the same time, my mind gets calmed down and I move forward from all these things. So yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, sharing your feelings and the change after, before the chant and after the chant. Sarvari Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. My
Thank you, Mataji.
comment was basically on today's session. I liked today's session very much, particularly the pictures that were shown. They were so lively, so colorful, and so beautiful. That particular picture, a tree of hearts, that was very nice, and it gave me the impression that when we go in our Sri Lanka tour and we do the 64-hour japa chanting, it would actually be something like that, where all the hearts are trying to reach out Krishna. So that I liked very much. And the first statement was also very nice, that actually we do not have anything to give to Krishna because everything is his only. So what we can give is actually bhakti. So that I like very much. That's it, Prabhu. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for sharing your thoughts. Hare Krishna. Vilay Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Sonali this side. So based on today's class, I have a doubt. Maybe I'm not clear with that. So Prabhu Maharaj was sharing one slide where he mentioned once we reawaken the inherent intentions to please Krishna. So my question is ki why Maharaj used the word reawaken? So yeah, I'm not clear with that. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
So anyone can volunteer for this questions? Dhir Lalita Prabhu?
No, I raised for something else, Prabhu, but let the devotees take this question.
Yes. So somewhere I have read in Srila Prabhupada's book, in Science of Self-Realization and other books also, Srila Prabhupada frequently mention that our constitutional position is to serve Krishna. We are, and this is like inherent, like it's hidden in our heart. But due to, since we take birth in these three modes of material nature, because of these three modes, like our real consciousness covers because of these three modes. So we forget the constitutional position. So this chanting helps us to reconnect with the Lord. But other Prabhus and Mataji, most welcome. Please come and answer.
Thank you, Prabhu.
I'll just add to what Chandan Prabhu said. And Sharbari Mataji, I am going to speak in Bengali. You can laugh as much as possible. You can unmute and laugh, and that's okay. So there's this very famous verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 22, text 107, which goes this way. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunoy, Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Koraye Uday. That Nitya Siddha, I mean, it's established, this what is established where in the heart, Krishna Prema. And Shravanadi, Shuddha Chitte, by this Chitta, this consciousness is cleansed, Shuddha, by Shravanadi, by the process of Shravan, Kirtan, Padasevan, all of the 9 process of devotional service, it is awakened. That is what Maharaj was referring to, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. And Sonali Mataji, what I understood her question, she was actually asking why reawaken. That means it was awake at one point of time, and then somehow it swept away, and then again. I mean, and but once it was awake, then why we fell down? It's something like that, because then there are the chances that after all these efforts of awakening ourselves, it can be that we will again find ourselves in the same struggle. Is it possible? That is what I understood the question, and I had one
Is
more
that what it
question
was,
for you.
Sonali Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Yeah, so the word awaken here is not reawaken, it is just awaken.
Yeah.
It doesn't say that earlier it was fully, what do you call it, from beginningless time, the feeling of loving devotional service to Krishna was already fully manifest and it's gone. It means it is hidden. That's one part. But the second part here is, in each life, we we can end up progressing a little bit or a more or a lot. But depending on other activities we do, this spark of service to Krishna itself will be very much subdued. I mean, although the spark can become a blazing fire, this blazing fire can again become a spark, or it is just a whimper after some time if we don't cultivate it properly. That is possible. In other words, from one birth to another birth, it is possible that there are ups and downs, or within the same birth also it is possible. But this principle does not explicitly state that from the at one point in time we were uh, pure devotees of Krishna. That's not what this principle states, Mataji.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
This was, I think, her question. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
I have one more question, Prabhu. We talk about taking shelter of only only Krishna. That means we should be away from the all other shelters. What we think we can be dependent upon. How is this different than renunciation? I can understand one thing, the feeling is different. In renunciation, we are depending upon ourselves that I am living, and in sudden taking shelter of Krishna, we are not having me in the picture. We are only having Krishna, that I have only one shelter, none of other things can help me. Is there anything else, Prabhu?
Yes, Chandan Bro, you can answer, or anybody else whom you want, please.
Yeah, please. First, other Prabhu's Mataji's can answer better. Kumarika Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Hare
In
Krishna.
fact, we may be having many things that are endowments that Krishna has, by his mercy, given us in this life. But ultimately, if we feel that Krishna is the only shelter, then we are, as you say, it is somewhat detached from the other shelters. That if you lose the other shelters, or if you are forced to do without other shelters, then you will be equipoised and you will not be totally upset. It is not in a way renouncing everything and going and sitting in the forest. That is always there is a Yukta Vairagya principle which is followed by the followers of Rupa Goswami, that you use everything, whatever you have, in the service of Krishna. But being detached in such a way that even if you lose them, you will not be upset. And you will go ahead. Oh, this is also Krishna's plan. Like Prabhupada lost everything, all his money, business, and he was a very wealthy person. And suddenly he became a very poor man. But his shelter was always Krishna, and it remained so. That did not bother him much. That sort of detachment, vairagya, should be there. That is what I understand, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Does it help, Mataji? Shweta
Yes,
Mataji?
yes. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
So,
Krishna.
yeah, Hare Krishna.
One quick thing to add to just summarize what Kumarika Mataji said. Dry renunciation is detachment from other shelters and attachment to an objective. The objective and attachment to scriptures, because one gets the objective from a scripture, that is from a true sense. There are people who are attached to an objective without a scriptural backing too, but we are only speaking about those who try to practice renunciation on the basis of scriptures. So detached from other shelters, attached to an objective, attached to scriptures. Whereas for those in the path of bhakti, it is detachment from other shelters, but attachment to, of course, the objective, of course, the scriptures, but in addition, there are three other components or entities: Krishna, the devotees, and the service itself. Uh, it is these three attachments which make the difference, Mataji.
Yes, yes, thank you, Prabhu. So basically, in this we are keeping Krishna in the center. That
Not,
is
not, not just Krishna, it's Krishna, the devotees, and the service to both Krishna and devotees.
yes, yes. I mean, if we are
Mm,
talking
mm.
about Krishna, then definitely we
Everybody,
will
correct,
speak
correct.
about his devotees and then serving his devotees. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you.
I, I, if you don't mind, Chandrapur, I just thought I'll say something and then I may have to leave quickly. I have some guests at home.
Sure,
Um,
Prabhu.
in the beginning of the class, Maharaj started with the path to Krishna is very subtle. And later, he said principle is simple, but the application gets tricky. For me, this was heart-touching thing because I I returned from the US to India in 2008, November. 2009, I went on a yatra to Vrindavan with Maharaj in India, and Yugalakishore Prabhu was also there. His daughter Samruddhi and Madhumati Mataji was also there. We all went together for this yatra in Vrindavan. And after we finished the yatra in Vrindavan, we went to Karauli and then we went to Jaipur because the deities of Radha Madan Mohan and the deity of Radha Govinda are there in those places now because of the Mughal invasion, etc. So at Karauli, uh, there was a small school kind of a thing, place where we all had to take prasadam. And Maharaj was also eating his prasadam over there. So I asked us some question. I forgot the question, how to do something. And Maharaj said the very same answer. That time, that was 2009, November. The principle is simple, but the application is where you need to put the effort. It's the same principle. And what gets over the course of years, what I realized is why is this application tricky? The application is tricky because number one, it impels us to take the shelter. And it impels us to take shelter of Krishna. It impels us to take shelter of devotional principles, like what we discussed with Shweta Mataji. It impels us to take guidance. And that's what distinguishes a a beginning person in spiritual life from an intermediate and an advanced person. In the beginning stages, when a person gets in touch with devotional service, he has an attraction. He or she has an attraction. For what? He has an attraction either for the service or for the prasadam or for the books or for the kirtan or for the katha, or he just likes the company of people. Some people just don't want to be lonely. They want to be with others. I wouldn't say even some. Most people cannot live alone. It's very tough to be alone. So what sometimes brings us into spiritual life is not even the attraction, but an escapism or running away from the fears in life and from the loneliness of life. Sometimes even that we that's what brings us closer. But what Maharaj taught today was that that attraction is very superficial. It's there. It's helpful. But the outermost heart that he wrote, in that outermost heart that he wrote is Anushilanam. That is where the middle, in one sense, the middle guy, the middling guy, or the intermediate person starts with, which is Anushilanam, following in the footsteps of somebody else. And when we follow in the footsteps of somebody else, wanting to please him, his or her inspirations become our inspirations, then it is much more easier and natural for Krishna to be the object of our affection, or he becomes the subject of our life. In other words, without Anushilanam, the attraction that impels us to start devotional service usually remains on the mental level. It is not at the heart level. The switch that turns us from the mind to the heart is this Anushilanam. Because Krishna reveals himself through the heart of the devotees. That's the process. It's not just the books in the beginning stages, etc. It's not just Kirtan in the beginning stages. That's what for most of us. And more we see Krishna, the devotee of Krishna and Krishna, it is equivalent to going to the pada. We first approach the pada of the Supreme Lord, where the devotee is present, and from that pada, next we move to the face. If we approach the face without the pada, it's not so relishing. So from that Krishna, when we approach the pada and then the face, then we begin to slowly do anukulyana, whatever Krishna wants, whatever the devotee wants. And it goes back and forth, sometime for Krishna, sometime for the devotee, and it's a never-ending process for the rest of our existence. Whether we become liberated or we don't become liberated, that remains. That's all I had to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. So it's already 7:14. Yes. So is anyone wants to share reflections or any question is there in today's lecture?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, please.
I just wanted to wish a very happy Krishna conscious birthday to Harisham Prabhu because it's his birthday today. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Harisha Prabhu, are you on the call?
No, Prabhu, he is not there. I'll inform him.
Okay, thank you.
Happy Krishna conscious birthday, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. I'll inform him.
Happy birthday to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Happy birthday.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Happy birthday to Harisham Prabhu.